What's up, guys? Dan and Lucas here. We're going to talk a little bit about how to deal with a coach who's asking you to make an adjustment that maybe you're not comfortable making, or maybe you've worked on something that's sort of contrary to that, or just like a different mechanical thing all winter long, and now he's trying to, change you.
Yeah, because one of the things that we get a lot is, especially if you put in a winter's worth of work and you've made some good adjustments to either your pitching or your hitting, and you don't get immediate results right out of the gate in the spring, it gets really easy to fall to the tendency of, oh, we need to make a change, right? And so one of the things that we talk about a lot is if you spent all winter making a change, or you're really comfortable with how you're throwing the ball or how you're hitting, and your coach says, hey, I really think if you made this little adjustment, it would be better, and you don't believe in that adjustment, it can be hairy. You want to think about two things. Number one, your coach is always your coach. And so you always want to respect what they're saying to you. And as best as you can, you want to try to conceptualize whatever they're saying to you and think about, is there something about this that makes sense to me that maybe I worked on in the winter? Or is he using just different verbiage to describe a concept that I am familiar with or that I do believe in? And if not, if it's something completely different that you're not comfortable with, the ultimate thing is you have to be able to perform on the field. And in order to perform, you have to kind of believe in your skills. So what gets not super great or productive to do is start to second guess yourself, because then you're going to get in a weird headspace and it might be tough to perform. So ultimately it might come down to nodding your head and saying, yeah, coach, I'll try that. I'll try that. Knowing full well that you believe in what you're trying to do and the changes you've made to maybe your swing or your throw over the course of a winter.
Yeah, so there's a fine line between knowing yourself and what you need to do and what works for you and your own body and your own mechanics and all that stuff, and also just still being open to other ideas, and also just still being respectful, because we all know if your coach hates your guts, he's going to be a little less inclined to play you, okay? So you kind of need to play the emotional intelligence game, and again, be respectful because it's the right thing to do, but also just think about it, because like Lucas said, there might be a little shred of truth that you think, okay, maybe I could do this differently. Maybe I'm not going to take his whole spiel, but I could fold this little thing into my mechanics, or it just might sort of reinforce why you think you are the way you are, because over a long period in your baseball career, you're going to have to figure out who you are. And so when you're faced with conflicting ideas, you'll say, no, this is who I am. So there's always a good sort of it's like a learning experience when you're faced with, should I be this person? Should I change here? Should I hold my hands this way? Should I do this stride? Should I throw a slider? Should I throw a curveball? Why does it fit? Why does it not fit me? Why does it fit me? Why should I or should I not change? So it's always good to be part of that dialogue. If they ask you to throw a new pitch, they ask you to do a leg kick when you hit or whatever. Again, having this continuing dialogue about who I am and should I change or should I not is there's some value in it. So as far as strategies go, at the end of the day, they're going to give you a little bit of feedback, a little thing that they think can help you, and then they're going to go about their business and they're going to go find someone else to help, right? It's really hard as a head coach. We both figured that out, to help 15, 20, 25 players at once. So they're going to go by, try to give you something to help, and then they're going to move on. So you nod your head, you absorb it, think about it, see if, try it out, whatever, and if it's not for you, then just go about your business and hit the way you need to hit or pitch the way you need to pitch. But there's definitely some merit to the idea of dancing with who brung you. That means, you got a date to the dance. When you get to the dance with her. Don't just start trying to find every new potential dance partner, right? That's like an old saying. But when you get to the season, if you've been working on a slider all winter, and then they're like, oh, you're bouncing your slider, maybe you should throw a curveball. Probably not the best thing to do. Plus, a lot of those things are long-term changes, and they require some failure, throwing it in the dirt a million times in bullpens before you really start to get it. So same thing with some hitting techniques, obviously. They're long-term. It's not like, oh, let's just do this now today, and it's all fixed. If it was that easy, Lucas would give you one lesson, and that'd be that, right? We'd work on your curveball or slider one time, and that'd be that. It's a long-term process, so don't forget that either. That just because it's not working today, or when they saw you it wasn't very good, that doesn't mean it's that big a deal. I've had lots of days where I've thrown terrible bullpens and gone out to pitch really well 2 days later. It's just, there's a line between thinking, am I broken, I need to change, or am I just having a bad day, or I just this wasn't the best version when coach saw me, whatever. So that's something to consider as well. Anything else to add?
No, I would say just kind of to reiterate those points. Always be respectful, always listen, experiment to figure out what's most effective. But at the end of the day, like Dan said, be confident in yourself going into this season, knowing that if you're confident and you're in a positive mental state, that's when you're going to perform your best.
Yeah, and the last thing I'd mention is ask questions. So if they're asking you to do something, don't say why. Why is a very like trigger kind of word.
Yeah.
You could say, well, what will this do when I do it this way? What you're asking, what is it going to do to my load, or what is it going to do to my hands? Like, how is it going to change? What's and hows are often better ways of asking why than actually using the word why. Because no one wants to feel like they're questioned. Like, I've had that, he's had that, where we have a kid comes in for lessons and like, well, my coach told me to do it this way. Why should I do it your way? It's like, well, why did you come to me? You know, and your coach is in the same boat. He doesn't want to be questioned. He's trying to help you. Even if they don't know what they're doing, they're still trying to provide a benefit to you. So asking good questions to just try to understand, say, okay, let me see if I understand what you're asking me to do. So are you saying that I should move my hands here instead of here? You know, like what will that do to my swing? Just like try to figure it out, because they like engaging. Like if they're there to engage with you, they'll be happy if you ask good, thoughtful questions back, because that makes them feel heard.
Yeah, and I would just say two things. Number one, if it's a good change that they really do believe in, they'll probably have a good justification for it, right? Or at least a justification at all. And what you might uncover in asking those types of questions is, oh, this is actually sounding something like Dan and Lucas taught me. So he just was using different language, and now this makes more sense to me. So
yeah. All right. So just a couple of tips for preseason, so you enter the season ready to handle your coaching staff in a positive way, and hopefully get the playing time you deserve and make the changes that are going to be beneficial to you, because you'll definitely get some good stuff from your coaches. We're not the only two people that teach baseball. So just be open-minded to it all and respectful to everybody.